An honest conversation with your wife. An honest conversation with your wife. Enough time to sleep. Do you give it the right foods to eat? An honest conversation, body. Can I say it again? Honest conversation. Hi, and welcome to my show, ENLIFEMENT. My name is Doc Honeycutt, and I am the host of the show. And thank you for joining us tonight. Tonight I have a very special guest, but before I talk about my guest, let me just tell you a little bit about who Doc Honeycutt is. I'm a mom, I'm an author, I'm a motorcycle rider, I'm a doctor by day, sometimes night as well. I've been a doctor for 12 years. It's my passion, but I think it all started when I was a very young child. I didn't sign up for this. I never said growing up that I would be I wanted to be a doctor when I grow up. I just kind of fell in it, believe it or not. But thinking back when I was a very young child, I got burned by I don't know if people remember. You remember what a pot pie was? You know, the pot pie that you eat.
Yes.
But I got burned by a pot pie. And my dad took me to this older lady, like back in the hills, and she prayed the fire out of my burn. So I think she was praying for a lot of other things too. She prayed a covenant over me. I think she, because I really think that my grandmother, she would always say that my hands were blessed. I have healing hands. So I'm like, I can't go around just touching people, they're going to think I'm crazy. If I'm touching them to heal them. They would call me to the hospitals just to come lay hands on people because they believe that my hands are healing hands. So I was like, well, I'll go back to school. Went back to school to be a therapist. So I just wanted more and more education, so I went back for my undergrad. My undergrad is nutrition. Then I decided, well, people don't listen to you unless you're a doctor. So I went back to school to be a doctor, and here I am today. But, on that note, we don't know what's going to go on with health care, with Medicaid, Medicare. We just don't know. We could wake up tomorrow, and with the officials in the White House, they could rule it out. It may be gone. So which is why I'm trying to be an advocate and let everybody know that we need to take control of our healthy lives. Mm-hmm. We need to take control. We need to, watch the things that we eat. I'm going to be screaming it, but it's going to take more than me. It takes a village. Yes. But tonight, I have a really special guest. Her name is Miss Judith Bentley, and we're going to talk about Medicare-Medicaid for seniors. Yes, ma'am. And we're going to touch on some other things as well, right?
Yes,
so I'm going to let you have it. I want you to take it wherever you want to go. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Okay. All right. My name is Judith Bentley, Judith L. Bentley. I always like to throw that L in there. It makes me feel a little bit different. Because when I moved to North Carolina, I fell from someone whose name was Judith Bentley as well. And she said, "Is your name Judith Bentley?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Judith L?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Oh, I'm not an L." I said, "Oh, that's good." Yes, like Dr. Honeycutt was saying a few minutes ago, we don't know where the health care is going to get to, and our health is so very, very important to us. And as an agent and walking around and being with seniors, which is mostly my passion, I am what Dr. Honeycutt just said, an advocate for seniors. And I really, really am passionate about our seniors, because what I'm finding is, as we go to the homes, or as I go to the homes, that they're there by themselves. They're lonely. They need someone to talk to. I find myself that I just go and I'll sit an hour and a half just having conversation when I'm going there actually to just help them get the benefits that they need, which is what I am pushing for, along with Dr. Honeycutt. You know what I'm saying? Because our seniors, they don't get the benefits that they deserve. A lot of them have it, but they just don't know that they have it, because no one is there really to show them what it is that they have in a plan. You'll find an individual will just call them up on the phone, give them a plan, or say to them, okay, you need to have this and you need to have that, but no one explains to them what they have. So they'll have these plans where they're able to go out and get a nutritional program, join a program and get nutritional education, get the nutritional advantage, and they don't know that they have it because no one has taken time to show them that this is here and this is how you use it, and this is here and this is how you use it. So in my going, what I've learned is I'm not only interfacing with seniors who needs a plan, who needs a Medicare plan or a Medicaid plan. I'm advocating and I'm interfacing with seniors who don't know what they have. And they don't know the benefits that are out there that they are not taking advantage of. That makes a difference in some of their lives. Because a lot of times I find that I've run into seniors that will rather buy medicine than food when they can get both. You know, so one of my passion really and truly is to make sure I educate them on the things that they have, so that they know what they can do, so that they know that they can go to the store, or they can pick up the phone and call a nurse 24/7. A lot of them don't know that, and they'll be at home sitting and not knowing that. You can pick up the phone and call a nurse at any point in time, at nights when you don't feel too good, or when something is going on with you and you need to find somebody and just talk to somebody. And those benefits are there. You know, that you can pick up the telephone and order certain over-the-counter items that you don't know you have, Band-Aids, Ensure, those types of things, and they're just not knowing that. So I really want to get into the face of everyone and all of our seniors to say, this is what you have, here I am, let's go and get it.
So I just want to know, how do these seniors find you, or do you find them?
That's an excellent question, actually. What has been happening for me lately is that the seniors and the families of seniors that I've been helping are beginning to refer me. Okay. So it's not as if they have to reach out and find me, or I have to go looking for them. I'm getting them through the family. And I'm interfacing a lot with churches and other different senior organizations, and as they're getting to know me and as they're getting to realize the passion that I'm having for the seniors, they're beginning to refer me as well. So those are the areas and those are the opportunities that I gravitate to, that just comes to me, and I only have to thank the Lord for that. You know?
Yeah, I know that there's a lot of seniors. I work with some seniors. I always say that it's my give back. On Mondays is their day. And I'm like you. I think a lot of times they just want me to come say, hey, you know, and talk, like, just touch them, you know what I'm saying? And that means a lot to them. I'm like, you're not sick. And yet they say, I keep them walking. You know, they believe this. They believe that I keep them walking and I keep them feeling good. So every Monday, that's where I am. I dedicate myself to them.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I understand what you mean when you say about they just want to sometimes see you. I have a gentleman who'll pick up the phone and he'll call me, hey, Miss Judith, how are you? I say, I'm doing good, Mr. So-and-so. Is everything okay? Yeah, it's okay. I just wanted to say, hey, And I say, hey, but let me, and I will just say, okay, I'll talk to you later, okay, or I'll come by and I'll see you. Do you need anything? Do you want anything? Because he's lost his sight in the last 2 years, which is another thing that just gets me going. He's lost his sight in the last 2 years, and so we're looking to find him someone who can come in home and help him to clean up around the area and to do other things. But they're looking, our seniors, we've got to really realize how much of a pearl they are in our society. We really have got to realize that. Not that a lot of us don't, but sometimes they're just put on the back burner. And we don't want them on the back burner, and they don't want to be there either. But he wants a particular person. He said, I just want somebody who, if she's driving in to come and see me, can she just stop and get me a sandwich? You know? But a lot of the times, the agency that will that will send these individuals into the home, they're not about that.
That's what I was thinking. You have to trust. They have to trust you.
And they want to trust you.
With you. So speaking of pearls, how do you compare the pearls to the seniors?
That's so easy. One of the things that makes me really gravitate to our seniors as pearls, I was listening short time ago, to a lady who talks about just how pearls came about. And she said the reason a pearl is formed is because of an adjutant, something that just bothers you. You know, as mothers, we have sometimes, we have that irritant, something that just bothers you and comes and it bores through the shell of a muscle and it embeds itself right into the middle and it starts to bother. It irritates the inside of the person. So what happens, the body automatically of the pearl starts to form a layer called nacre around that particular thing so it would stop bothering it. So as the years go by, it would just grow and grow. Each year, it'll grow layer and layer. And then all of a sudden, you open up the shell and there you have that pearl. And I'm thinking to myself, that's different. That's really, really different. Because the life of a senior, the life of our grandmothers, the life of our mothers, the life of our great-grandmothers, I mean, the things that they have gone through, that they bore for us, each and every time a pain that we do something, or we do something to our lives, and they begin to take on this burden, and they begin to take on these pains, and they begin to pray and to tarry and to move forth and experience after experience. It's kids, it's grandkids, sometimes it's great-grandkids, sometimes it's just friends. Oh my goodness. But the Lord has them to preserved because He continues to make these layers and layers around them, and they just become individuals of hard-shelled stone that looks lustrous and shiny and pearly, and from all of those experiences, they come up as pearls in our eyes. And a lot of times, we don't really sometimes look at our pearls or a pearl. And this is understated. Sometimes they have a lot of bling, 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 so you can see it from a mile away. But a lot of times, you have this elderly person, our grandmothers, our great-grandmothers, that is always the one that sits and just pray. And pray for us to overcome that situation. Pray for us to deal with that situation favorably. Pray for the favor of God over our lives through that situation. They are the ones that have borne all of the experiences, and when they come out, they're just pearly, shiny individuals, and they just sit quietly sometimes in the corner. Just sit in the corner, and you look sometimes and you have to say, that is a pearl among us.
Wow.
So I just associate that with the pearls.
And you are so right, because I can see my grandmother right now sitting in that corner.
Yes, yes.
And sometimes just not saying anything.
But she's praying.
She's praying, and she never complained.
And
She never complained. She
Never
had
complained.
like rheumatoid arthritis, and her joints were disfigured. But you would ask, "How are you doing today?" "I'm fine, thank the good Lord."
Yes.
All
That's
the time.
Yes.
So
Yes.
she was speaking those things that are, that were not as though they were.
As though they were.
Yeah.
As
So,
though
and
they
I
were.
know she prayed for me because
Yes.
I was not always the person that I am today. So.
Amen.
Amazing.
So let me see. We got another question. Tell us more about, what you do for seniors.
Okay. Just recently, one of my seniors, he reached out to me. He reached out to me actually, and he said, Miss Judith, can you help me? And I said, oh, sure. Because my answer is always, oh, sure. I want to hear what it is. I don't want to say, I don't think that I can, tell me what it is you want. Because it's very, very difficult sometimes to gain the trust of a senior. And once they trust you, though, they truly trust you. They truly trust you. So he called me up and he says to me, he says, my family is evicting me. And at first that sounds like an oxymoron to me because it's your family and they're evicting you. I said, what do you mean? He says, can you help me find a place? And I said, oh, okay. So I went and I sat and I talked with him just to get a feel of what was going on. And we had to find a place for him. And it took me almost a year. And going through agencies and service areas and resources, just trying to find a place for him to go. And I realized, I said, my goodness, I'm not only there to help him in terms of benefits of health care, but I also have to try to find a place for him. And when we weren't able to find a place quick enough that he had to go to court, I had to go to court with him. I had to stand up and talk for him. So it's not just that I am an agent. I've become an advocate. Yes. Because I don't want them to see me as just, oh, this is the insurance person that's coming. I want them to see me as a friend. And I really and truly enjoy that. So it's not just healthcare, it's well-being.
Yes.
Okay. And it's all of the other things in that comes in between that. One of the things that I'm looking at doing is to have a yearly ball for the seniors.
Wow.
A yearly ball for the seniors. I'm struggling right now trying to figure out the name, but I'm thinking maybe Our Pearls. Okay? And because we all have a pearl. We all know an individual. We all know an individual that is a pearl among us. So Our Pearls. And so the ball would just be an opportunity to honor them and let them be that person for that day where all we do is dote on who they are.
Nice. I want to be the hype man. You know, I want to teach them the electric slide.
There you go. And we're going to have that. We're going to do that, the electric slide.
Make sure you have a slamming DJ.
Oh, yes.
Because they're going to have the time of their life.
The time of their life.
Yes.
And that's especially that. Because as I walk into the homes, I realize that a lot of times they're just looking for somebody to talk to. They're just looking for some entertainment. There's no one to say, do you want to go to the mall? Even just to the mall. Do you just want to go to the mall? Do you want to go out and just sit and have something to eat instead of having something brought to you in the home? You know, those are the type of things and I love doing that. I love doing that. And I don't want to take away from the career that it is, but I want to put a flesh and blood type feeling towards them to make
like
sure.
It's that passion. If you don't have that passion, then it's just a job.
That's right.
And to me, I could not think of getting up every single day just going to a job. You know,
that's true.
It has to be something that I love doing.
Yes.
And I get up, I'm like, I got to go to work today, you know? Not, oh, God, I got to go to work today.
I know.
So, yeah, definitely got to be a passion. But I want to know, so when did you take a big interest in the seniors, in the Pearls?
The Pearls came about not very long ago, actually, because I'm sitting, I have a mentor. Her name is Donna Reed.
Yes,
Donna Lee Reed.
We know Miss Donna Reed. Everybody know Miss Donna Reed.
And she kind of takes me and she's helping me to just be immersed in the community. So wherever she goes, she kind of drags me along, and I'm loving that.
Yes.
I actually love that. So she took me to a vendor relationship with it, which is at a church, and the person was talking about the pearls. Okay. And I'd been struggling. We'd been talking, okay, Judith, how can you let people see the passion for the seniors? How can you let people see the passion for the seniors? And we just all of a sudden started putting our heads together, and she said, nothing but pearls.
Love it.
And I thought, that's it. I know I got it. I actually got it. But I'm saying to myself, what am I going to do with the pearls? And then she started breaking it down to me. She started to let me know that, listen, the churches and their seniors are sitting amongst each other as pearls. And we had an opportunity to sit at a table with a woman that was in the church for 65 years. 65 years. And then there was another one that was there for 55. And altogether there was 4. And there was a total of about 200 years sitting right at that table. Wow. I said, that has got to be awesome. These are the things that we as church people, we as a community, not just as church people, we as a community need to celebrate. Mm-hmm. We have to celebrate that. And the stories they started to talk about. I sat there I left my table. I was just sitting there having a conversation and just listening to all the things that they were talking way back from the years, the different pastors that they have come through. Mm-hmm. And that's what we need to really realize, that we have these people as sitting gems. You know the amount of information she has?
Oh, yes.
The amount of experience, the amount of knowledge and wisdom that she can impart. Mm-hmm. I love that.
I would always call my grandmother. I'm like, I need to hear from some wisdom now. Yes. And she wouldn't sugarcoat it. She was my best friend. Mm-hmm. She would just tell me how it was. She's like, you need to hear this.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
And I was like, I know she knows what she's talking about, But so very precious to us. So tell us more about the senior ball.
Okay. So I would have this huge we're planning it. We're getting ready to start, really get into that. We're looking for donors. We're looking for sponsors. We're looking for facility. I'm going to have it in one of the most beautiful areas that I know here in Charlotte. And we're going to have all the seniors to come. They're going to get, each of them, as they come in, a string of pearls. Mm-hmm. That's where all the pearls come in. I mean, it might not happen this first year, but that's where we're going with that. The seniors are going to be the honorees. Yeah. We're going to honor them. We're going to cater to them that day. We're going to have them walk the red carpet. Yeah. We're going to take pictures for them. It's just a day of honoring them. So even if it's just that one day that they have, then it's something that they can look forward to. And I want to make sure that they enjoy it to the utmost. Mm-hmm. And I want them to have gifts. I want people to give us gifts so we can get the gifts to them. We can honor certain individuals from communities that have toiled in our community, or who has toiled in our churches, or who have toiled in our school systems. We don't want to put those individuals out to pasture and leave them alone. We want to bring them back and invite them, and let's say we honor your honor. Mm. Okay?
So are you planning to do this like next year at this
next
time?
Year, December 8th, 2018.
Oh, wow. December. Okay, good deal.
December 8th, 2018, and every year after that.
So, oh, man, that's going to be awesome. Because just think of how many that, have not got to go to a prom.
True. Who has never had a birthday party? As a matter of fact, this gentleman that I'm talking about, I promised him a birthday party. I hope you all will come. I promised him a birthday party because he's 87 and he's never had a birthday party. I said, okay, I'll give you a birthday. He said, you will? I said, yes, I will.
When is his birthday?
It is September 16th.
Okay, so you got a little bit of time to plan for it.
Yes. I'm going to do something for is the end of the year, because it also wraps up into his housewarming. He got his new apartment, his house. Mm-hmm. But right now it's open enrollment. Yes. So I am going to all of my seniors to make sure that they have everything, because we have just that short frame and we don't know what's going to happen next year with all this healthcare conversation that's going on.
Right.
So I want to make sure I get all my seniors nice and ready, so that they're sitting ready for next year when it comes.
See, I don't think people really realize what's going on with this healthcare thing.
No,
but
they don't.
It's so serious, you guys.
It's very serious.
And when I'm on Facebook, I know people be like, oh, God, here she go again. Mm-hmm. But share everything, because I want everybody to know that we don't know what's going to happen. Like, I got a letter saying that, you got this health care this year, but come, I think it was March, it was either January 2018. Mm-hmm. If you want to keep it, you'll pay, like double, yes. But you can keep it, mm-hmm. So.
And a lot of our people can't do that. A lot of our individuals cannot do that. If you lose your subsidy, and that's, I know that there's a lot of communication and conversation that's going on around healthcare, but it's not really getting into the meat of the situation. Because if you lose your subsidy, a lot of the individuals that are on subsidy, if you lose your subsidy, then you can't afford the health care. Because based on your age, and open enrollment, they can't ask you too many questions. So based on your age, once you show your age and your zip code, then you get an income. Then you get a certain subsidy towards paying your premium. And those premiums starts anywhere from $600-700. I've seen premiums that are $1,500. Right. And individuals based on their income and their subsidy are able to get that particular plan for maybe $30, $40, $50. And some individuals are able to pay zero, depending again on your age. So imagine if you lose the subsidy, who can afford $600, $700, $800, $1,500 for care? No one can afford that.
Right.
Not in our demographic. You know, so we really need to listen and understand of really what is being said so that we can hone in on the meat of the thing rather than just on the covering.
Before we started our show, I went on Facebook and I asked, did anyone have any questions? And Cynthia Garcia, she wanted to know, is eye care and diabetes care covered under Medicaid, Medicare?
If you have Medicaid and Medicare, it's called having a dual eligible program, because Medicare is federal and Medicaid is local and state. So when you marry those two, you're almost 100% covered. So any health situation that you have, if you have Medicare and Medicaid, you are covered. So if all she has to do is find a doctor that is participating in the Medicaid industry or network, so that she's able to get that care. So the answer to that is yes.
Okay. So is there any, our time is dwindling down, is there any other things that you can tell us about the Medicaid and Medicare? It is a separate entity, right?
It is a separate entity. There are some individuals that are you're eligible for Medicare when you turn 65. Okay, that's the normal aspect. That's when you're considered senior citizen. So you're eligible for Medicare. You can get Medicare if you're not 65, only if you have a disability. If you're no longer working and you're disabled, or you have end-stage renal diseases, or you have certain incapacitating sickness that renders you not able to work, then you can have Medicare. When you get Medicaid and Medicare, that means your income is not enough to sustain you paying that 20% that Medicare doesn't pay.
Okay.
So then you get Medicaid. And Medicaid is the state health that covers your health, and it sometimes includes food and nutrition. And it will cover dental, vision, and hearing in most cases as well.
But everybody does not qualify for a Medicaid or Medicare.
Not everyone qualifies for Medicare. You don't qualify for Medicare if you're 64. As long as you're 65, doesn't matter what's going on with you, you qualify for Medicare. Okay. Unless you haven't worked 10 years in the system, or 40 quarters is considered, or unless you're a foreigner that comes into the United States and has not been living here for more than 5 years. In those instances, however, you can buy Part B. The government Medicare is Part A and Part B. Part A is the hospital cost and care. Part B is the physician's cost and care while you're in the hospital. But if you're able to purchase Part B, because you didn't work for 10 years or 40 quarters, then you can get Medicare.
Okay. So how about, is there an income base as far as the Medicaid? I mean, do you have to make a certain income to qualify?
You do have to make a certain income to qualify. If it's under either $910, then you're considered eligible for Medicaid. But then not everybody is eligible for that, because if you're a young person, a mother, or teens have their own Medicaid stuff. But if you're a young person in between 30, 40, 50, they're looking at the fact that you should be working, or you're not working, or why it is that you're not working. But if you qualify and you meet all the requirements, then yes, the income guideline is anything that's $900 and less.
Okay. Well, you guys, that is our show for tonight. It's dwindling. Like I said, time flies when you're having fun. But you can check out my show on Facebook. I mean, there's no reason why you can't see my show. My show is worldwide, okay? But you can check it out on Facebook on Wednesdays. And I have books. I have my weight loss journey book talking about my how I reached my goals for healthy weight loss. Mm-hmm. I have my journal, and it basically is just keeping a journal of your life. You know, your meals, your goals, so you can keep yourself on task. Mm-hmm. Classroom stress. I have something for everybody, okay, with my books. You may not need them, but you could bless somebody else with them. But once again, that's our show. Thank you for joining us. You can join us every Wednesday right here on my show, ENLIFEMENT, and the network is the Wake Up Call Network. Thank you.
Awesome.
All right.